All right.
Spurs.
The Spurs.
Who do you want to pick? I'm just gonna let you cook here since they're your team.
It's gotta be Steph Castle time. It has to be. Like, there's a lot of ways in which I'd be happy. Like the 8th pick, I'm happy with whatever the Spurs do. The 4th pick, I think this needs to be Stephon Castle. I think Stephon Castle is the best player available. I think he has quite pretty high upside on both sides of the ball. I think he pairs nicely with Wembanyama. You're getting a perimeter defender to pair with Wembanyama. And honestly, I just don't know who else you would take here. Like, like in what else are you doing here?
Yeah, you're gonna take like Matas Buzelis or
no, like I don't know where else they could even possibly go. So like I would have been fine with Reed Shepherd, but let's see.
Oh, it's already in. All right, let's go.
Oh no, it's not in. Well, I thought it was walking up. It's hard. I'm trying to like watch as I talk, but yeah. If Reed was on the board, I'd be fine with Reed Shepherd. Some of the concerning things here I did hear, which this will be hilarious if it actually happens, but like there was talk of like Donovan Clingan at 4 for the Spurs.
That would just ruin you, I feel like.
To me, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like I would just rather take Edie at 8 if I'm gonna take a big man.
Imagine a 7'5" guy and a 7'4" guy.
Like that's what I would rather do. I'd rather do that at 8. I don't think like Clingan to a lot of people is the best available player here. And I know, like, some people say, who cares about fit? You figure it out later. I care about fit because you need shooting around Wembanyama. You need playmaking around Wembanyama.
Well, shooting. If you're drafting Stephon Castle, how much do you buy his shooting and his playmaking? Because obviously those are the two knocks. And you and I believe in him, but I'm gonna ask you that question as devil's advocate.
The shooting is definitely the concern with Castle. I do buy it a little bit. Like I'm not like sold. I'm not out on him as a shooter, like long term, the way some people are, but I do think his playmaking makes up for it, his drive ability, his finishing ability. So let's see what the Spurs do.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Stephon Castle.
There you go.
I was waiting for Donovan Clingan, dude. I was so scared. I was so scared, and my chest was
tightening up. Cardiac arrest.
I was like, if he says the letter D to start this thing, I'm gonna lose my mind.
That's funny.
The Spurs get it right again. There's your headline. I think Stephon Castle. I think the world of Stephon Castle. First of all, he is my number 3 player, and he is tied with Richardson for number 2 on my board. I just think that the defensive playmaking is exceptional. Like the body is already there for him to step in and contribute. I think the shooting, while it's not good right now, I think has potential to be significantly better in a couple years. And then the playmaking and the ability to get downhill. Like I'm completely bought in on Stephon Castle's upside, and with how good he was as a role player at UConn, I just want to see him next to Wembanyama because I think that's a winning player.
So my comp that I have down is Bruce Brown. Obviously, you hope that he is more than that in terms of a playmaker and basically one guard. Do you think that he's going to be more of a Bruce Brown, or do you think he'll turn out to be more of the one that he wants to be?
I don't think he steps in. Like I think the Spurs need to go get need to go get a point guard, like a veteran point guard.
Yeah,
a point guard that knows what he's doing on the court, right? Castle's not stepping in and being the starting point guard day one, and he shouldn't be. He does have that ability, like the vision, the patience, the passing. You see it with Castle, and he has the size to make a lot of those passes. I would just love him as a secondary guy. Like I love him, the idea of him being able to play on the opposite side, attack closeouts, run out of ball screens on when they flip the court, like those type of things. I would love to see it. Like Wembanyama pick and pop. Stephon Castle gets downhill. He's throwing the ball. He's finishing at you. And he shot 75.5% from the line, so that's not even a concern. I think offensively, I really don't have a ton of like major concerns except the shooting. Like that's the thing.
Well,
if you can't shoot, then it is a bit of a problem because you already have Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah, and to your, I guess, to our point that we believe in it, shot 75 for 76% at the line. So,
and in high school, he was a decent shooter,
and he was a good shooter in high school. I think it develops. Not only that, he has good touch. Like he has a kind of a float game. Obviously, he's able to finish well. It's just really going to be if the shooting's going to decide if he's going to be able to be the one that he wants to be, because without it, it's going to be that utility type player role, that connecting passer role, which is also still a really good player. Like, I'd take that. So especially in this draft.
I do want to say like a couple things real quick. Defensively, I don't want to undersell him for those who maybe haven't watched him play. Like defensively, Stephon Castle is an absolute dog in this class, the top 5 defender in this class. We watched him. I watched him against Baylor Shireman, take him out the game. I watched him against Terrence Shannon, take him out the game. I watched him against Alabama, guard 1 through 4. This is an elite on-ball defender, and you pair him with Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs are immediately getting significantly better defensively. So I'm very, very happy with that pick. Again, the question marks, we talked about them. Comps, ceiling-wise, I mean, like Jimmy Butler, I think is a fair comparison.
That's a good comp too.
Like I think that's a wing who has the ball in his hands a lot, can create for others, not a great shooter, but a hell of a competitor on both ends. So
I like that.
Jimmy. I mean, I have like Amin Thompson down. I mean, Amin was obviously, I think, a little bit more like bursty, if that's a word. It's not a word, but like he had a little bit more pop to his
explosiveness.
Game. Yeah, he had a little bit more pop, but like, I love the physicality Castle plays with, and there's like no questions there on that end. So, good pick for the Spurs. We'll be back at 8 to review then.